Welcome to the Indie KidLit podcast. Join Marty Dumas and Elena Page on their quest to help children's and middle grade authors find the right audience and sell more books. Hi, and welcome to the Indie KidLit podcast. I'm Marty Dumas.
And I'm Elena Page.
And we're joined today by Ashley Durrer from Instafreebie. Instafreebie was created in 2014, and it's a platform for exclusive access to sneak peeks, advanced previews, and special giveaways for ebooks. Their mission is to give readers a chance to see it first, which is, by the way, an adorable way of being able to say that. That's a super cute mission statement. And we're getting to talk to Ashley today about how helping readers be able to see it first really is very helpful for authors. So Ashley, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. That was a great intro. I'm glad that you love our tagline. It's awesome.
That's really cool. Like it's concise, you know, it says a lot, it's catchy, it's adorable. You guys worked, that was a good job. Good job with that.
Thank you. Yeah, the team took a lot of time to figure that out, so appreciate that.
Yeah, not that you needed my approval, but you totally have it. So there you go.
It's good.
So tell us, welcome Ashley. Tell us some of the creative ways that authors can use Instafreebie and increase their mailing list, which is always on the top of our list. We get told all the time, increase your mailing list, or you are a bad author. And Instafreebie has revolutionized that. So tell us a bit about how you've done that and continue to do that.
Yeah, sure. So I think it actually kind of comes from an idea that seems counterintuitive to a lot of people, because we are sharing free content with readers, but there's so much power in that, because it allows you to build a warm introduction with readers, and invite them to connect with you and, you know, be on your mailing list so that you can continue to talk with them. So on a very simple level, we help share free content with readers so that they can discover it freely and then be able to connect with the author. So it gives you a lot of power to connect directly with the readers.
Yeah. So people can give away their ebooks in like the whole ebook, or can people sometimes give away a piece or a few chapters? Because I've heard there's a bit of debate, you know, in different groups about what works more effectively, and some people only have one book, but they still want to get those subscribers. So can you speak a bit to that?
Yeah, of course. So if you are doing a giveaway and you want to build up your mailing list, I've seen really great success doing both a preview or a sneak peek. So that might be a few chapters, or maybe it's like even 6 chapters, which, you know, will depend on your book. But then I've also seen others who will do a full book or like a full novel or a novella or a short story. And there's also been great success in building their list too. So it really kind of depends on where you're starting from, and what your goals are immediately. So if you have one book and you want to get subscribers so that you can then introduce them to your full book, starting out with a preview is a great way to do it. If you're concerned about that or you're not sure it's going to work as well, what you could do is you could write a spin-off short story about one of your main characters, or maybe a specific event that was really interesting to you, and you could write that and share that as free instead, and then, you know, introduce your other work later on. There's also a first in a series. So maybe you have like 6 books in a series and you want to introduce readers to that content. You could be giving away that first book. And maybe you have short stories to back it up, or maybe you also do a preview of, you know, that 3rd book or something like that. But there's a lot of ways that you can use both of these types of content to really accelerate your mailing list.
So Ashley, can I back us up a tiny bit?
Yeah.
So I'm surprised always when there are people who have not heard of Instafreebie really. And so I would love it, but there are those people who are out there, and not very long ago, I was one of those people. I think it was just before Christmas that Elena was like, Marty, like, you have to do this. Seriously though, you have to do this. And I was like, wait, what? Wait, okay, I need to have a moment to be able to step back and actually even just Google to figure out what this thing is. So if you were like I was just before Christmas, what can you tell people about what Instafreebie is and how it works so that they don't have to step back and Google, that they're just ready to walk right in?
Yes, great question. So I'll try to simplify it in a different way so that it gives you a better, like, higher level view of what it does. So, you know, you're all writers and you want to write and you don't really want to market. And so we understand that viewpoint. So we want to make the marketing process easier for you. We want to make it easier for you to be discovered by readers, and really by the right readers. So when you are sharing your work freely on Instafreebie with readers, Instafreebie accelerates your work to readers as well. So as you start sharing and engaging fans, we accelerate that by recommending it to more readers, so that you can further, you know, build your mailing list. So it's not just your effort, but it's also, you know, we're going to back you up and make sure that we can make this successful for you too. Yeah.
That's great. So then authors go to your website and they have to make an account, right? And then what happens after that?
Yeah, so once you create an account, you're going to want to upload an EPUB file. And then we actually will help to convert that file to Mobi and PDF so that a reader can read it wherever they prefer. That way they can read it.
Right. So your site does all the conversion for everything. People just need to come with an EPUB version of their file, and then your site makes the PDF version and the Mobi version. Do you have to use all three?
You don't have to use all three. So if you have a Plus account, which we do have a trial for, you're able to select which file types you want to make available. So if, you know, for whatever reason you want to disable a file type, you can do that.
Okay, great. So then we have our thing up there and we are afraid of marketing, as you say, which is just the truth. Like that's just hashtag truth on that one. So we have our file up there now, and we are like, yay, now Instafreebie is going to do it. Or is there, like, what else should we be doing in order to get?
Great, that's a good question. Yeah, so you don't just want to throw it up there, because then you're probably going to be disappointed. So once you've uploaded your EPUB, it's really important. You need to create that giveaway campaign, and then you have a bunch of controls there, so you can decide how many you want to give away, or if there's also a time limit. That's where you can also select which file types you want to be sharing, and then you can also put in the information for your sign up as well. So once you've done all that and you've created your link and you have your link, you do need to share. So while marketing is challenging, and we know that writers really just want to write, marketing is also really, really important. And it's really important because the reader wants to connect with you. And I've heard from a lot of authors where they're like, oh, I don't know if they really want to connect with me, or, you know, they'll just kind of find me, or I wouldn't think they would want me to talk to them. But they really, really do want to talk to you. So it's important that you're actually pushing your marketing efforts yourself as well, because fans of any content, really, they get super excited. You know, when they like a work, they get really excited about it, and they want to know who the creator is. They're like, oh my God, this was amazing. Like, how did they come up with this? I want to talk to them. I just want to hear them say hi back to me. Like, oh my God, this is the best thing. And then you have fans that are super inspired, and they're just like, I got to talk to so-and-so, and they're super excited about it. I know for me, working with so many authors, it's been such a great experience, just being able to connect with so many. And I'm like, wow, like all these talented people, I get to chat with them and, you know, learn who they are as a person, and that's really cool. So that's why it's really important, once you have that link, to actually be communicating with the reader and sharing this through various ways. And we can talk about that a bit more if you want to as well.
Yeah.
And,
no, that
one
was
of the
good.
things.
Rebecca said.
Sorry, Marty. I'm saying sorry, Marty, all the time. One of the things that really sparked Instafreebie for me and got my attention, you know, because we hear about new things and we're like, yeah. But my eyes instantly went, what? was there were a couple of authors that were saying, my subscribers are actually talking back to me, like they've got the best engagement and they're interested, and they were doing that particularly when they came from Instafreebie. So what do you do to them to make them do that? How do they enter your world, and why are they like that? I don't know. You probably can't even answer that.
Yeah,
but,
so I don't know
yeah.
if we know. I don't know if we know that answer. I don't know that we have, all the data to back up why I might think this. So I don't have a concrete answer. My inclination is that because we're introducing readers to content and content that they love, and that, they become to love the series, it's a gift up front. And so it's much better than saying, oh, go buy my thing, and then they buy it and then they come back and they're like, oh, I didn't like it, so now I hate it. And then, that's a much different kind of reaction, and it's a different relationship that develops from the beginning. So this beginning is much softer, much warmer, and allows people to really appreciate what you gave them. And so it just gives you a better opportunity to continue to interact with them for the future.
Yep. Great. Can you tell me, people that actually use Instafreebie, and again, I don't know if you know this answer, but do they are they mostly Amazon readers, or do they live on other platforms? Again, one of the things that I often hear is that some authors are now, like, more seriously than ever considering going wide, because they're saying that Instafreebie seems to bring a much more variety. Is that true?
That's a great question too. You have really good questions on this. So I would say on Instafreebie, as well as other marketplaces, Amazon, Kindle, Mobi is still the majority that's read. It still has the biggest presence in the platform or in the market. So that's why they still have a lot of readers there. However, we see a lot of readers, it's getting pretty close to, we have almost as many who are downloading for EPUB file. And then you have more that are also doing PDF. So if you combine EPUB and PDF, it's pretty close to the number of people who are also downloading a Kindle file. So if you're looking to go wide, I think that you can have success doing that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right.
Do you happen to know, when you think about do you guys look at the data, like, based on the categories that you have people check off? Like, children's books is one of them. Can you tell if there's any trend like that in children's books, or is that just for the bigger? The bigger
picture for the moment, but that's a really good thought. So that'll be something I'll have to look into further to see if there are trends for particular genres.
That is part of our mission, to get people to think about us specifically. Wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, I don't know the answer for that. I'll have to dig deep to find that.
That's cool. So when we are talking with our friends who are also children's book authors and hearing about people's concerns, the file size thing is a thing that comes up a lot. So we know a lot of people who are books which have very little text but have tons of illustrations, and the illustrations are part of what's appealing about a picture book. And so people are really hesitant to do something that's going to make their illustrations not look as good. Do you have tips or ideas for people who are trying to put their illustrated books into Instafreebie?
Sure. So I would say my first tip, which would start from formatting the file, is that if you have an image that ends up repeating in the book, that might be rare, but if you do, it's a really good idea to refer back to that one image from the beginning of the book, rather than have it uploaded multiple times within the book, because that's going to save you some file space. And then I would say, if your book is over our 10 megabyte limit, you could think about doing a preview instead. So maybe you do like one lesson within that picture book, and that's what you share with fans. And then, yeah, so if you have further trouble after that, we really want to work with children's authors, and we really want to share more of that content. And it really, illustrated books go to graphic novels and comic books as well. So, if we find that we get more and more of you onto the platform and that there's a need for a bigger file size, that's something that we can work together on. So it would be great if you are still having trouble after these tips to just email us and let us know so that we can try to work through it and see if there's something we can do.
And what's the best email address for that, Ashley? We'll make sure we put it in the show notes.
Yeah, so support@instafreebie.com would be best.
Okay.
The other alternative is, I'm always, it's completely not related to Instafreebie, Ashley, so I'm just taking it off of you, is buy a Mac computer and install Vellum, and you'll never have a problem again.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know, like it does something to my, I mean, I've got lots of illustrations, but it doesn't, look, it isn't laid out like that, but it's free flowing. And I get feedback from my subscribers that they love that my book can be read that way, even though it's a children's book. Isn't that interesting? I've actually had over 10 people write to me and say, we love the layout of your book. And I'm like, cool. That is fascinating.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm just
That's really
that
cool.
out there.
I have one of my series is an illustrated chapter book series. So it's either the best of both worlds or the worst of both worlds, if you want to think about it, because it has tons of text, but it also has tons of illustrations. So 72 illustrations adds up the file size, even in Vellum. So
even in Vellum,
be more creative, like for the workaround for that. Although Vellum did get me the closest. I think it got me down to just over 11 megabytes for the file, which was
that's
pretty good. Something that was a lot more workable. So then that's good. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah. You should email me afterwards and we should see about that 11 megabyte file.
I will do that.
It's only 1 megabyte. Come on.
You're like, come on, we can do it. We can work that one out. Okay, maybe.
One of the strengths of Instafreebie is the joint author promotions. Like that gets the most downloads because it's group giveaways, and when you work with partnership with other authors, the beauty of doing it through Instafreebie, unlike kind of a generic giveaway, is that normally on a generic giveaway, someone has to subscribe and get a ton of books all at once. But on an Instafreebie joint promo giveaway, and I'm giving you such a nice plug, aren't I, Ashley? Is that, and it's for me.
I was looking for a sideline job.
Yeah, you got any jobs? Do you need an Australian connection? But it's that people can actually click on just the book they want. And so that that the people who have, even though they're looking at a big joint promo, wanted your book. So they do want to be on your list, not just everybody's list. Yeah. And a lot of the successes come when you actually also promote those promos. So my question is, how do authors who have organized a group promo then get Instafreebie to then also promote it?
Yeah. So I first just want to thank you for saying it the way that you said it, because I really love that you said it's an opportunity for a reader to like your book and not necessarily everybody's, because everybody's got interests. So we really strongly tell authors that, you want to make sure that everybody's link is available, but it's not all bundled into one thing, so that the reader does have the choice. And, that's just going to help make sure that they don't feel spammed and that you don't have a lot of unsubscribes. So it's really, really important. And I'm so glad you said that. So on the other side of that, group giveaways, we do share them because we love seeing authors collaborate. It's so amazing. It's one of the things I love about Instafreebie and that I've come to love working here, is that authors want to help other authors, and there's just this great community of people who want to work together, and they don't see it as adversarial and they don't see it as competition. They're just like, how can I help you? And like, how can we work together to make this better? So I really love it. So we really try to be advocates for authors who are doing this. So if you want to do a group giveaway, you can totally do it. It's always best to do it within like genres so that you are attracting people to a particular, with a particular theme so that you have your targeted audience. And yeah, so anybody should do it. We have guidelines for it to help make it a little bit easier, so that you know kind of what is required and what you shouldn't do, so that we will also promote it. That's something I can share with you. We have a nice little graphic for this now. It's really fun.
Oh, that's amazing. Yay.
A little bit easier. So like genres is good. You should have at least 10 authors. You should all be sharing. Those are some of the basics.
Okay, great. And so then if
Awesome.
we do all
and
oh, I'm sorry, Elena, you go.
Yeah, you go.
No, if you this is our problem because we have a slight time delay because we're on different sides of the planet. So then it's hard. Anyway, if we do all those things, is it that Instafreebie is going to automatically pick it up and also promo it, or like are there other little things that we should do? Is there somebody we should email? Like what can we do to make sure that we kind of have the best chance at being able to also be promoted by Instafreebie?
Yeah. Great question. Yeah, so we don't have like a magic ball where we can see all the promos like being planned at once. It would be great if we did. It's really hard.
I feel very disappointed that you do not have that magic ball. Just going to put that out there. Okay, but keep going. It's good.
Yeah. So if you want us to know about it, you should email production@instafreebie.com. You could also email support, and that would be fine. It would get to us. But that's going to be the best way to let us know that you're working on a group giveaway. You could also go to our forum, and that's actually a place where you as an author, if you are not sure how to organize one, that's a place where you can go and you can start talking with other authors and recruiting other authors to do a promotion together too.
Great. And where's the forum? We'll put that in the show notes too.
The forum is at instafreebie.com/forum.
That's easy. Got it.
Yeah. Makes sense. Ashley, tell me a bit about the benefit of doing exclusive books on Instafreebie. It's something that kind of bit me on the bum this week, where I sort of went, do you know what? I'm going to have an exclusive on Instafreebie that's not available anywhere else. So like a mad scientist, I pumped out a book and got illustrations done, and I'm almost ready to go. And I'm curious to see if that works just a little bit better, because it's not available anywhere else in the world except for on Instafreebie. Yeah,
that's awesome. So that's the right definition for exclusive, by the way, that, it shouldn't be available.
Yeah.
People also often ask, what does that mean exactly? So that's right. And then, so it sounds like you're going to launch it exclusively on Instafreebie to start. So that's really awesome. We love exclusive things. It is also going to help you get more attention with readers, because they're going to see this as something a little bit extra special. And so you'll have a higher conversion rate with readers. Yeah.
So it does have a higher conversion rate. It definitely does.
Yep. Sorry, I was also thinking about, how else could she promote this? But I've, had people do this kind of thing where they launch a book exclusively on Instafreebie, and then they'll go wide afterwards. So I'll be interested to see how your plan transitions, what you end up doing with this content, or maybe you leave it exclusive. I don't know. So it'd be really cool to see that too.
Yeah, that's another strategy I've heard and I was wondering whether to do that with later books in the series. My kids series doesn't have to be necessarily read in order, but I was tossing with the idea as a strategy of taking some of the later books and putting them on Instafreebie, as you said, exclusively before they even launch. That's another great strategy. So yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot you could do with that exclusivity, which is kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of angle it based on what you're trying to do. So, we're talking about building an audience, which is great, but, maybe have like sub goals within that, and trying to, maybe you're trying to get into iBooks more, who knows? So you kind of do what you need to make that happen.
So I have a question about that. So one of the websites that some authors have used, but it's kind of expensive, is NetGalley, where you can put your book up way ahead of time to be able to have your advanced reader copies go out and be able to pull together reviews, industry reviews, and like blogger level reviews, and before the book is released. And so then one of the functions, it seems like, for Instafreebie is something similar for you to be able to get reviews ahead of time. And I noticed when uploading my own books that it asks you what you're like, why you're uploading the book to Instafreebie. Like, is it to get reviews? Are you doing a social media giveaway and those kinds of things? But my question is, if I am marking that I'm putting it up to get reviews, advanced reviews, is that something that is going to show up at all? Is that going to affect the categorization on Instafreebie? Like, or are you guys just kind of gathering back end data about that?
Good question. Yeah. So the purpose, when you're creating a giveaway, you can put in a purpose, and that's for your internal tracking so that you know, okay, like what your goal is for this campaign. And then it also lets us know what you're intending for this as well. So if you put, this is for an ARC campaign, or, I want reviews or feedback, that doesn't mean that nothing on our end changes for that to happen. You're going to want to like do things to help facilitate that. But in general, authors who use Instafreebie do gain reviews from readers. There are readers that are just so excited to have received your content, and they really enjoyed your work, that they're like, okay, I want to get back to the author, and this is the way that I can do it. So then they go and write a review. And others are like, okay, I loved it, and this is great. I'm going to buy the rest of their series now. So you have different readers, you have different authors.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Do most, I mean, it's such a generic question, but do most people come to Instafreebie because they're free book hunters, or is there a good proportion who, are just avid readers looking for the next thing to love and buy?
So a lot of the readers that we found that come to Instafreebie, they are just avid readers, and some of them read a book a day, and it's just amazing how much they read. So they love it so much. And they're just super engaged, and that's why, because they just love to read, and they're constantly looking for new content. And so some of them will give back to the authors in different ways, and sometimes that's reviews, sometimes it's buying the full series. I've heard that story a few times before, and that's really cool. So they are looking for authors that they'll love, or, they really, this is like their hobby and they want to be doing this. So it's really cool.
Great.
So,
and now we're both waiting to see who's going to ask the next question.
Exactly. And then we end up with like a weird awkward pause. Yeah. Awkward pause. You go, Elena, and then I'll go after you.
I wanted to know, where do people who use Instafreebie come from? Are they mostly US based, or are they becoming more international?
Oh, good question. Yeah, it's mostly English speaking based. So the majority of them are from the US, but we do have a lot of people from the UK, and actually a lot from Australia too. And then there are other international users too. So it is expanding.
And how do y'all drive traffic to your site? How do you get people to Instafreebie besides the author sharing, right?
Yeah, so it's really been organic, and it's really been through working with authors and connecting with readers that it's grown. So it's a lot of thanks to all of you who are looking to connect with the readers that really makes it happen. So, we owe a lot to you. And so as we continue to grow, we're really looking to continue working with you guys, because we want you to be successful. So if you're not successful, then we aren't either. So that's really how we've done it. I'm sorry, I don't have a different answer for you.
No, that's a perfect answer. That really helps to know, because honestly, people who are readers. And so if someone is a reader who reads my books, reading Elena's books is not going to stop them from reading my books. They're not going to say, oh, I've already read Elena's books, so now I will no longer read yours, Marty. And so actually that may be one of the reasons why you have such a great open rate and have such like active participation from the people on your site, because they're readers being referred to your website by authors who are probably readers themselves. So it ends up being a really probably active community that way. So that's really cool. So actually the question that I was going to ask you before is about open rates. And if you could talk about that a little bit, like what are experiences that authors that you are kind of following have had with their mailing lists and having people open and respond to them? And has that changed over time? Because in the internet world, you guys are like an old company now. Y'all are like, what, like 2014? Y'all are like old people at this point in the internet world. So how has that changed over time?
Yeah. So it's really interesting. You know, we always worry, or we're always very conscious of, you know, our readers and our authors, and we want to constantly be connecting you to each other. And so we worry about, you know, if and when that won't happen. But I haven't really seen drop off. Readers continue to open and they continue to click, and authors get much higher open and click rates. I'll give an average based on just some, you know, anecdotal knowledge that I have from authors that have chatted with us about it. But they'll get, you know, from like 40 to 50%. Some get much higher for their open rate. So it's pretty substantial. And then your click rates are always lower, but, you know, they're getting maybe around 10% or higher. So it's really good.
That's really good. I know a lot of children's book authors who would give you at least one finger for open rates like that and click rates like that, because you can still write with 9 fingers. So I think that they would.
Well, keep your fingers and keep writing with all.
Okay, that's cool.
And
all 10?
We'll help you to get
if you have them.
It's really great. I got all mine. I'm gonna keep my 10.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
so Instafreebie links with MailChimp, which is great because people can get all their into their automation list. Except I'm not with MailChimp anymore, and so this is please do not judge me, people. But every morning, the first thing I do when I get up, this is my routine. The first thing I do, I haven't drunk water, I haven't washed my face. The first thing I do is I look at Instafreebie to see if I have any new subscribers. And then
I love that. I love that you do that. That makes me so happy.
And I manually put them into my list, which, you know, is there any plan for further integration, or are you kind of just saying, hey, MailChimp works great, and most people are on it anyway? Although, you know, a lot of people are moving to other email subscribers. Any plans in the work?
Yeah, good question. So I know there's a lot of different mailing services, and I really want us to do it right for you guys. So I know a lot of authors have been asking about it, and I've been very conscious of that. My immediate goal is to continue helping to make it easier for all of you to connect with the readers. So that's kind of my top priority. And I really want us to simplify things for you guys and make it easier, make improvements for both you, the author, and you, the reader, so that it's just a simpler experience for all of you. So while I know that mailing lists are important, I want to do it right. So it may still take some time for us to figure out that solution. Because there's like 50 to 100 different mailing services. So that would be a huge So we're working really hard to do it right. I know that you guys want it. I can't do stuff fast enough for you guys, and I wish I could. So that's the update.
Yeah, having said that, I would miss it if I didn't do that. I would miss not seeing every name individually and going, oh, thanks, Michael, for joining my list. You know,
that's awesome.
But
yeah, don't discourage Ashley from like helping out the automation along, Elena. Like, that's how. That's not where we're going with this. You can still do your lovely morning ritual, and we can have automation too. It's cool. We can do both.
Yeah. I'd like the tool to be in place if I suddenly had 1 million downloads. No, I would not want to go through them individually.
Well, let's see if we can get
All good.
That's great. We are coming up close to the end of our time. Elena, do you have any last questions for Ashley before we let her go?
Believe it or not, I don't. I've asked everything today. Isn't that a miracle? I know.
That is. I mean, because you're a thinker on the fly. So like almost always at this time. So what this means though is that after this call, that Elena's going to have like 7, and we're going to have to ask you to come back on the show.
I should ask this question. I forgot.
So thank you so much for coming to hang out with us, Ashley. This has been really very informative. And is there a place that people should go and check you out?
Yeah, you can just go to instafreebie.com.
That's wonderful. And we'll be able to see these lovely infographics and all the things that you've mentioned. And we'll put all that stuff in the show notes as well. So thank you again for joining us. And we are thanking all the people who are listening / watching us on the Indie KidLit podcast today. And we will join you again very soon.